Welcome to Bobcat Math Clips. This video is going to show you how to solve one-step equations with models and without models. Let's begin. To model an equation, we have to start with the y variable. So we're going to draw the variable tile, and then we look at the constant and we represent that with 4 pluses. On the other side of the equation, we have minus 2, so we're going to add minus 2 negatives on the right-hand side. So now we have to get the variable by itself, and to do that we have to get rid of the positive 4. So the opposite of adding 4 is subtracting 4. So we're going to put 4 minuses here, and if we put 4 on the left side, then we have to put 4 on the right side. 1, 2, 3, 4. On the left-hand side, these are 0 pairs, so they cancel out. These are 0 pairs, they cancel out. That leaves me with my y tile. On the right-hand side, we don't have to, there's no 0 pairs, so we just add each one of these negatives. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's negative 6. So our solution is that y equals negative 6. And this makes sense if we substitute y with negative 6. So instead of writing y, we're going to write negative 6 plus 4 equals negative 2. To solve an equation without models, we do the same thing, only we use numbers. So first we want to isolate h, the variable, and we want to zero out the negative 6. So the operation is negative 6, so we have to, the opposite of that is adding 6. So we add 6 to one side and add 6 to the other, because whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. The negative 6 and the positive 6 becomes a 0 pair. That leaves me with h. I have 12 plus 6. On the right-hand side, 12 plus 6 equals 18. So my solution is h equals 18. If I put that back into the equation, substitute h with 18, then it should make the equation true. So instead of h, we put in positive 18. And negative 6 villains plus 18 heroes equals 12, because we subtract when we have unlike signs. Now let's look at 11 equals t minus 13. Which one is the variable? The variable is t. So we want to get t by itself. So let's start with drawing a line down the center. And here so on the same side as the variable is negative 13. So to get rid of a negative 13, or to zero out this side, we have to add a positive 13. And if we add a positive 13 to the right side, we have to add positive 13 to the left side. Negative 13 and positive 13 make a 0 pair, and that cancels out. That leaves me with t is equal to 11 plus 13. 1 plus 3 is 4, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So t equals 24. Again, we can check it. 11 equals t minus 13. Instead of t, we're going to put 24 minus 13. And 24 minus 13 equals 11. So our equation is true. Now let's practice a couple of problems on your own. We have negative 4 plus c equals negative 9. Pause the video, try the problem, and then look at the solution. Okay, so negative 4 plus c equals negative 9. So let's first start with drawing a line down the center, or down the equal sign. And we want to work on the side with the variable, which is c, because we're trying to solve for the unknown, which is c. What operation is with the c? because of this negative sign, that's a subtraction. So the opposite of subtracting 4 is to add 4. To zero out negative 4, we need to add 4. Add 4 to the left, add 4 to the right. These are zero pairs. Negative 4 and positive 4 form zero pairs, and we bring down the C. Now the question is, negative 9, I have a negative 9 and a positive 4. So let's look what we should do. The common mistake is to think I should add 9 and 4 because I said add 4. But if we go from 0 to negative 9, we went to the left. That's negative 9. But now we want to go 4 in the opposite direction. So now we have to go 4 in the opposite direction. So that's subtraction. I have to go 1. So I have to go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 to negative 5. So unlike signs, we have to subtract because we're going in opposite directions. So 9 minus 4 is 5, and that's why it's negative 5. Another way to remember that, if you don't remember that signs that are not the same or unlike signs that subtract, you can use the triangle, write a positive and a negative and a negative. So a positive and a negative tells you that you should subtract. Okay? Or you can think about it, and like signs tell you to add. So now let's look for plus k equals negative 9. Similar problem, only the signs are different. Pause the video and try it on your own. Okay, so now let's again draw a line down the equal sign to represent the middle of the equation. Okay, let's draw a line there. We want to work on the sign on the side with the variable, which is k. We have a positive 4, so to zero out a positive 4, we need a negative 4. So subtract 4 on one side and subtract 4 on the other. These are zero pairs. We bring down the k. Now the question is, I have a negative 9 and a negative 4. So what should I do? So let's think about that. If I had 0 and I'm going negative 9 in the left direction towards negative, so this is negative 9, and then I want to go negative 4, that means I have to go in the same direction, negative 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That puts us at negative 13. So when the signs are the same, you need to add. So this is negative 13. So k equals negative 13. So let's check now to see if that's true. We substitute, so we write 4 plus, but instead of k, we substitute that with negative 13. That gives me negative 9. Is that true? Yes, because we have unlike signs, 4 and negative 13. Unlike signs means we subtract, so negative 13 minus 4, negative 13 plus 4 gives me a negative 9, because 13 minus 4 is 9, and negative 9 equals negative 9, and that's a check. We have k over 5 is equal to 4. We have to model k cut into 5 pieces. So what we have is k, but it's 1/5 of k. So we have 1/5 of k is equal to positive 4. So this is positive 4. Because I only have 1/5 of k and I want all of k, I'm going to need 5 groups of k. So I need to add 5 more groups of k. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means on the right-hand side, I need 5 more groups of k. So if 1/5 of k is 4, then I need 5 groups of 4. So there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there's 5. So now 1 whole k is going to equal 5 times 4, which is 20. Now let's look at x divided by 9. That really means that I have 1/9 of x. I have an x tile that's divided into 9 pieces. So let us draw. Let's start with the 1/9 equals -2, so 2 negatives. And I need 9 of them to make 1 whole x. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So let's check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means I need 9 groups of -2. So let's draw my 9 groups of -2. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means 1 whole x is equal to -2, and I have 9 groups of -2, which is equal to -18. And that's how you model division problems. So now it's your turn to try these two problems, numbers 4 and 6. Pause the video, complete the problems, and then start the video again and see the steps that you should have taken. So let's take a look. 14 equals a divided by 2. We want to start with the side of the variable, and the variable here is a. And so then we look at a divided by 2. A divided by 2, what's the opposite operation of dividing? It would be multiplying by 2. So we're going to multiply by 2 on the right side, and we're going to multiply by 2 on the left side. So a times 2 over 2. So 2 divided by 2 equals 1. We can show that 2 divided by 2 equals 1. And that leaves you with a. And that's the same as writing a. So then we come on this side and we say 14 times 2 is 28. Okay. That means a is equal to 28. And we can check that by substituting a over 2, a divided by 2. Substitute a with 28. 28 divided by 2 equals 14, and that's a check. Now let's try 24 equals 6c. Pause the video, try it. Okay, so this is 6c. What operation is on the same side as the variable? Well, when you don't see an operation, that you assume that to be multiplication. So the opposite of multiplying by 6 is dividing by 6. And we're going to divide by 6 on both sides. How do we know it's 6? Because the coefficient of c is 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, and leaves us with c, 1c, or we just write it as c. And 24 divided by 6 is equal to 4. Therefore, c is equal to 4. Now let's check that. 24 is equal to 6c. If we substitute c with 4, 4 times 6 is equal to 24. And that's a check. To solve a multiplication or division equation, we follow the same step as we did when we were modeling. We work on the same side as the variable, so in this problem 9 equals s divided by 6. S is the variable. S is the variable. And so we want to work on the right side of the equation. We look at s divided by 6. If we want to get s by itself, what is the opposite of dividing by 6? the opposite of dividing by 6 is multiplying by 6. So we're going to multiply by 6 on the one side, and we're going to multiply by 6 on the left side. When you look at s times 6 over 6, 6 divided by 6 equals 1. That leaves you with s. Now on the left side, we have 6 times 9, which is 54. And so in this problem, 9 equals s divided by 6, s equals 54. Now let's check. Let's substitute s and write in 54 instead. So 54 divided by 6 should give us 9. And it does. So that checks. Let's look at number 8. This equation says 36k equals negative 9. So again, we have first identify what side of the equation we have to work on first, and that's the side with the variable, which is k. And so now we look and ask what operation is going on with 36k. It's multiplication, so the opposite of multiplication is dividing. Divide by 36 on the one side. 36 divided by 36 is the same as 1, and that leaves me with a k. Well, negative 9 divided by 36, that's going to be more difficult to do, but I can see that as a fraction, and I can simplify that. Negative 9 divided by 36 has a common factor of 9, so I can simplify by 9. 9 divided by 9 gives me 1, and 36 divided by 9 is 4. So k is equal to 1/4. Now could I divide 1 by 4? I could, and I would get a decimal. And it would turn out that 1/4 is the same as 25 hundredths. And that's our answer.